Hello. Welcome to Lori's Classroom Stories and Crochet.
Today is Yarn Management Monday. I'm wearing my T-shirt, as in about teas. See, there's a T for that. This is from Celestial Seasonings, which is here in Colorado. About an hour drive from where I'm at. But anyway, I'm a tea addict, maybe? I don't know if you can be addicted to tea the way you can be addicted to coffee, right? The caffeine. Maybe, because so Celestial Seasonings is pretty much exclusively, not entirely exclusively, pretty close to all herbal teas and not, no caffeine. Anyway, so I love my tea, and some days I need all of them, right? All right. So today I think what my yarn management is going to be is I'm going to be moving all of my big fat yarn, anything bigger, well, I don't know if I have room for this, but I think I might. Anything bigger than a 4. So 5s, 6s, and 7s, which I know I have 5, 6s, and 7s weight yarn. So bulky, super bulky, or chunky, super chunky. I think those are the names, in jumbo. Yeah, have them all. So I will, once I've taken them all in the other room from, oh, I can't flip it around. I'll show you in a minute. When I've taken them in the other room, I'll show this real quick. One moment. Okay, I need to pull all the super bulkies out of there. I can see some blanket yarn. I'm not going to make you watch all that. I'll get all this moved over and then we'll try to Jenga it in. Okay, I moved my ice cream yarn up here. This is all my furls yarn from Lori. Again, Lori the Armchair Chef. I will tag her. It's very much like Caron Simply Soft. It's super soft yarn. I do like it. I did arrange all my novelty yarns. Okay, I say all, but I don't know that that's all. These are all novelty yarns. These not so much. These are very usable yarns. Okay, so this is the shelf I'm going to be. This is my 3-weight yarn. This is sparkle and rainbow yarn. That is an ice cream yarn. I don't know why I shoved that there. That should be up here. All right. Sorry about that. Weird filming. I might edit that a little bit. So I needed to move my ice cream yarn up here. But so novelty yarns done. Well, okay, I say that. I haven't actually gone on a search. This is just rearranging this cabinet, and I found all. Well, this I pulled instead of putting it in my pinks and purples. So right across there and there, that's all novelty yarn. There's my 3-weight yarn, my Colorama Halo, which is also a 5-weight yarn, but I'm not going to put it on this shelf. Or, well, wait, maybe, yeah, maybe I need to move all this 3-weight yarn and sparkle and rainbow down one and then put, because this is all bulky weight, 5, 6, or 7 weight yarn that needs to go on that shelf, which I think it'll fit, but I mean, this is all 3-weight yarn right here. This is 4-weight yarn, but that's 5-weight yarn. That's 5-weight yarn. Okay, I'm not going to film all of this arranging. I'll play with it a little bit, and we'll come back when I figure out what I'm going to do. Okay, so I had to do some major rearranging, and I did find some additional bulkies and chunkies. There's blanket yarn. And there are more, but they're all the same type of yarn, so I didn't even know I had 3 of these. What is this anyway? Country Loom. You can see it's a little bit bumpy. It says, sorry about that. It says 8mm US 11. 104 yards. I know there's more information about it. Must be this way. There it is. Bulky 6, 9mm hook. So yeah, this is big yarn by their estimation, but that is not, I mean, that's a 6 weight that another yarn Shannon would work with. Like, that's not a 6 weight. I mean, is it going to be a pain in the rear? Yes, but I have 3 of them. So that would definitely work. This is my chunky mystery, or chunky mill-ends from Hirschner's, I think. This is from my yarn swap with Jennifer Wysocki. I moved my rainbow yarns down. Now you can see I added 3 rainbows here. My rainbow cakes are back there. My sparkles are all right here. I moved my furls down to this 3 weight shelf. So I did move all my 3 weights down and kind of consolidated. But this is pretty thin 4 weight, and it's definitely a 4 weight comparatively, but anyway, that's where we're at. And it is very, oh, I just found one on the floor. Ugh. That is definitely big fat yarn. I'm gonna have to work with that, figure out how I'm gonna fit that in there. And I use a milk container, and then I pull it through the hole, just cut off the bottom, melt it a little bit so it doesn't snag, and then you can use that as a yarn bowl, yarn holder, whatever. Works great when you're dealing with fat yarn. So now I got to figure out how I'm going to fit that in. So I'll be back. Okay, I took it out of the milk jug and shoved it in there. Put my cover story, moved my halo and my ice cream up. Again, those are novelties, and these aren't really novelties, but kind of unique yarn, but all kind of the same color-ish. So my halo, my ice cream, my cover story, which will get turned into a blanket, and then bulky 5s and 7s and 6s. Mostly bulky 5s. But there are a fair amount of 6s. I don't even know I had this bright orange. But that's at least a 6, right? Didn't have a ball band. There's a burgundy of that same type of yarn in the back. Again, a lot of yarn was gifted to me, and I'm just reorganizing, trying to see what I actually have. And most of this, almost none of this, with the exception of this one. Oh, and blanket yarn. Almost none of it's new. Oh, this is also from my next door yarn haul. I still have no idea what I'm going to do with that, but I'll come up with something eventually. And then that's all of that is older yarn. Obviously, none of this that's in bags is old yarn. That's fairly old yarn, but I have a plan for that. I just have to do it. So big improvement in like actual organization, seeing what I have, getting some more rainbow yarn. It's a little bit different rainbow than those rainbows. Oh, I'll show you this yarn right here. Was really nice to work with. I made this purse from that, but it's kind of heavy because again, it's very dense. This was actually a bag a day pattern where she used cut up jeans, I think. I'll have to find that pattern and link it. Now I added I feel something in there. What's in there? Oh, a random receipt. That's not very useful. But that's kind of a cool thing if you want to cut up jeans and turn it into a bag. Her dimensions are very different than mine. But I made it so I could draw a string around the top, put a pocket outside. Did I put a pocket inside too? Yes. Oh, you can't really see that. But there's an inside pocket. You can only kind of see the edge of the... But there's an inside pocket and then that. So I had my thinking was cell phone pocket out here. I really like this bag, but it's kind of heavy just all on its own. And then just something about how I joined here, it frayed, so I had to tie it back together. I need to do a better job of like kind of cleaning that up, but that's not, again, that's more me just putting too much weight on it. But so that yarn is awesome. What is that considered? I want to see. That's what it's called. The color is Prism. It's Opus. It's 42 yards. That bag only took 2, I think, maybe 2.5. So it didn't, even though that's only 42 yards, it didn't take that much yarn of this. But see how huge that is? What does it even call it? Calls it a super bulky. It's definitely bigger than that. I would call this a jumbo yarn. What about you? Oh, I think that's a jumbo yarn. Anyway, a super bulky 6, but it's calling for a 16 millimeter. So yeah. Anyway, that's it. That's my yarn management. I'm happy with it. I can see what yarn I've got going on. Things are sort of organized by size, sort of. I still have so much yarn in the other room, but it's all right.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. See you next time.